Hey everyone, I'm going to be reading from this book called Boundaries, and it is by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. And I'm going to be reading parts of chapter 2 that says, "What does a boundary look like?" The parents of a 25 years old man came to see me with a common request. They wanted me to fix their son, Bill. When I asked where Bill was, they answered, "Oh, he doesn't want to come." "Why?" I asked. "Well, it doesn't think he has a problem," they replied. "Maybe he's right," I said to their surprise. They replied, um, maybe he's right, I said to their surprise. "Tell me about it." He recited a history of problems that had begun at a very young age. Bill had never been quite up to snuff in their eyes. In recent years, he had exhibited problems with drugs and inability to stay in school and find a career. It was apparent that they loved their son very much and were heartbroken over the way he was living. They had tried everything they knew to get him to change and live a responsible life, but all had failed. He was still using drugs, avoiding responsibility, and keeping questionable company. They told me that they had already given him everything he needed. He had plenty of money at school, so he wouldn't have to work and he would have plenty of time for study and a social life. When he flunked out of one school and stopped going to classes, they were more than happy to do everything they could to get him into another school where it might be better for him. After they had talked for a while, I responded, "I think your son is right. It doesn't have a problem. You would have mistaken their expression for a snapshot. They stared at me in disbelief for a full minute. Finally, the father said, "Did I hear you right? You don't think he has a problem?" "That's right," I said. "He doesn't have a problem. You do. He can do pretty much whatever he wants, no problem. You pay, you fret, you worry, you plan, you exert energy to keep him going. It doesn't have a problem because you have taken it from him. Those things should be his problem, but as it now stands, they are yours. Would you like for me to help him to have some problems?" They looked at me like I was crazy, but some lights were beginning to go on in their heads. "What do you mean, help him to have some problems?" his mother asked. "Well," I explained, "I think the solution to this problem would be to clarify some boundaries so that his actions cause him problems and not you." "What do you mean, boundaries?" the father asked. "Look at it this way. It is as if he's your neighbor who never waters his lawn, but whenever you turn on your sprinkler system, the water falls on his lawn. Your grass is turning brown and dying. But Bill looks down at his green grass and thinks to himself, 'My yard is doing fine.' That is how your son's life is. He doesn't study or plan or work, yet he has a nice life to live. Plenty of money, and all the rights of a family member who is doing his part. If you would define the property lines a little better, if you would fix the sprinkler system so that the water would fall on your lawn, and if it didn't water his lawn, he would have to live in dirt. He might not like that after a while. As it stands now, he is responsible and happy, and you are responsible and miserable. A little boundary clarification would do the trick. You need some fences to keep his problems out of your yard and ease where they belong. Isn't that a bit cruel just to stop helping like that?" the father asked. "Has helping helped him?" I asked. His look told me that he was beginning to understand. So I hope this helps to give you some perspective on what boundaries really look like. Okay, bye.